One of my favorite people right here, Kyle Smith. We're kicking it at Everwild 2025. And I first got to give a shout out to Kyle because he helped me check an item off my bucket list. I got to introduce him to the people at the VIP. He was doing an acoustic set over there prior to the Trop meet and greet. So, Kyle, welcome to Everwild 2025, man.
Thank you so much. MC HR right here. That's it.
I'm MCHR. So, if you're looking for MCs, you know where to go. Now, we've talked quite a few times, done some interviews and stuff, but I haven't really checked in with you since Bad for Business, the album dropped, man. How was the reception, and then what's your world been like since the album dropped?
Well, I learned that you should probably never put an album out during November ever.
Oh, okay.
And summertime is the time to drop an album.
Okay.
But everything's still like tripled on my end with like Spotify and all that shit. So to go from having 23 songs available to like 37 or whatever, like doubling your catalog with one album really, really helped. And the songs I think are way better than everything I've ever made. And it was like my baby, and I'm super stoked that it was very well received. And a lot of the songs came from the heart and soul, and a lot of people, tell me in person about what each song means to them. So that's like the coolest part about it so far.
Yeah, not only did you like expand your catalog, but you put a lot of music out there that's very diverse. There's a lot of styles blended in this album. When you were creating this album, what was your intent? Were you trying to be diverse, or did that just happen naturally?
It always happens naturally. I guess for this record, the focus was to not try to make every song a reggae song. You know what I mean? Because in the past, I've always felt like it has to have like that skank, or that like it has to be reggae somehow for me to put it in the reggae category, right? But this time I just dropped it as alternative, and I let every song kind of take a life of its own, and just kind of however it was supposed to be ended up being the song. Whether it ended up being kind of folky, Bad for Business was a total hip-hop track, you know what I mean, a little bit of everything, and then just dropped it as an alternative album instead of trying to force it into the reggae category.
Yeah, it's an interesting approach because I think you'll get a lot of people from the different styles, somebody that might like this one song because they like hip hop, or they like this song because they like the folky stuff.
Yeah.
And so you're reaching a broad range of audiences in that. Are you getting a lot of new fan interactions that are coming from that type of thing?
I think the Head PE collab got a lot of attention from more like the kind of like the, I wouldn't say new metal community, but like a lot of like hip hop, reggae, punk rocker type cats, you know what I mean? Like a lot of Head PE fans that kind of like the heavier shit, they all fucked with that song. And then, even like the hip hop heads, like having Equipto from the Bay Area on a track, who's like one of my favorite rappers of all time, was pretty sick. So yeah, I think that album kind of helped, like, us, like people that don't necessarily love reggae, like fucked with the album because it has a little bit of everything. So I do think it kind of obliterated some borders in a sense,
Yeah, no, I can see that too from my perspective. You really haven't been doing the music thing the way you're doing it for that long, but you are really hustling hard. You are putting in all the work. I know early on your goal is just like, I got to get out there and do as much as I can. Have your goals changed at all over, because I see you as you're making it now. People are knowing who you are. You're getting on these festivals. Have those goals changed now that those things have happened?
I would say it's still the same thing, just not as brutal and severe on my body and my brain anymore. I'm like learning how to take days off and learning how to rest a little bit in between tours. Cause if I keep doing like 160 shows a year, I'm just going to die, So I'm doing like 120 now, so like a few more days off and just learning how to like, rest more and only do 5-hour drives in between shows. And the goal is now to play live in front of as many people as possible, as often as possible, but also rest and take care of my body and my health. Before it was just fuck that, I'm a machine, go till you die, no breaks. Now it's like, once I turned 30 and I started like, going to urgent care for a couple things here and there on tour, I was like, all right, dude, you got to chill the fuck out. You got to stop. When I started getting like, puking and getting kidney infections on tour and shit from like not eating right and not peeing when I need to pee and shit like that, that's when I like really, really got the check engine light and was like, you need to slow the fuck down. So now we like actually rest between tours and between shows for once.
Glad to hear you're doing that and taking care of yourself because, the people that know you, your fans, they saw that. They saw that you were working hard, and I think a lot of them were like, are you getting your downtime and taking care of yourself? So it's good
Yeah.
to hear that you're thinking that about that, you know.
I've always thought that it was a good thing when people like are concerned about your health because you're going so hard, but it's not really a good thing anymore.
Well, you know, you've seen some payoff, which is great, you know, and now you can
Yeah.
you can chill a little bit because you've kind of surpassed this bump that you needed to get over, and I think you're I would say you're there, and now you can just kind of hopefully have a little bit extra fun with it and chill a little bit.
Yeah. And you know, the bigger the shows get, the more time off I'm allowed to take, you know, like, you know, a lot of the big dogs, you know, Stupid, Stick, Reb, they all do huge summer tours and then they're chilling for the rest of the year or just doing festivals, one-offs and shit like that. My goal would be to get there, but, you know, when I quit my day job 2 years ago, it was like, I need to play 15 shows a month to make up for this money that I'm losing by not working a 9 to 5. And then now that the shows are getting a little bigger, I get to do like, you know, 10 shows a month, you know? And then maybe one day it'll be 5. I don't know.
It will, man. And I love to hear that, man. What is something that you do to, like, when you are taking care of yourself? What's something you do to keep your mind right, your body right? What are your extracurricular activities?
I mean, when I'm at home, it's like it's training all the time and gym constantly, and just like trying to fly out and go do shit that doesn't really involve work. You know, like going to Key West and getting in some nice water and doing shit like that is always a big plus. Going up to Mammoth during, you know, while we're not working, hiking trails, you know what I mean, shit like that. Anything in the sun or anything that involves like weights, you know what I mean. Like I'm all about it.
Me too, me too. Like being physical is something. You just don't let that get away from you. You know, I was having,
Man, yeah, it is very tough.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
and that's like, you know, with the guys in Trop, they prioritize that fitness too. So it's like, you know, you got that same energy, even at this festival. Like down here, you know, they've got the weights area. You got the ice bath. Kyle says he's gonna get in the ice bath, which they claim is about 36 degrees. So we might have to follow up on this interview,
Gotta
see
lock
what it's
in.
like.
Wim Hof breathing.
He knows about the Wim Hof.
Gotta lock in.
Now you haven't been here too long today, man. Have you taken advantage of any of the other services like the barbershop or the massage or anything like that?
Not yet, but I'm gonna get lined up by AJ before we play tonight, and then I'm gonna get probably play with some of those weights, and probably do a cold plunge here in a minute, in a little bit.
Yeah. Well, we'll be around. We're looking forward to that. We're gonna make sure we are around to see what happens when you get in the ice.
Oh yeah.
So, Kyle, man, it's just cool to see you. It's great to see you every time, man.
Love
And thank you so much, man.
Always appreciate you.
This is highly recommended. Everwild 2025. Kyle motherfucking Smith.
Hey.
Hey.